The Marshfield Chamber were lucky enough to launch a new initiative that kind of spawned from 2016 on, and we recently got some very healthy federal funding thanks to Jim Cantwell and Senator Markey and Senator Warren. We've stood up an organization called the Atlantic Resiliency Innovation Institute.
I need to do
and more
of it,
recently, we
also kind of
lucky enough to hire
reassessing
aboard
in light of
Jeff
all of the stuff that's happening in terms of my relationship with some of the tech
He's
giants.
He's going to be running a
like
workforce development academy for us, focused on civil engineering.
No.
And, all
well, right now I work for
focus
Ford Motor Company, so I'm in the kind of connected
talent
vehicle space.
that can confront the coastal hazard
And that's also why I work
problem
remotely,
we have
because it'd be a long commute.
in eastern Massachusetts. The other side of the Atlantic
We are
Resiliency
on
Innovation Institute,
YouTube.
what we call ARI. The other side of ARI is our lab
So if
side,
you're
where
listening on
we're
YouTube,
able to,
this is Sandy
hire
Stride.
Josh Humberson.
And let's just
He's
see
coming
if it is
from,
on here.
Sandia National Labs, and is a brilliant mind around data science. He's got a background
Yeah.
from the Army Corps of Engineers working as oceanographer.
Okay, so we're live on
Research
YouTube now, it would appear. Let's see.
In North Carolina.
Yep.
And he's running a company called
And I've
Coastal
got two
Measure,
things on here.
exactly in the space, putting sensors in the water to measure what's going on with coastal hazards.
And yeah, and if you
That's so
end up
cool.
monitoring
I
on your
remember
own
I'm not
phones
super
or
involved in
anything
the
on
chamber
YouTube,
anymore,
just be
but,
sure to
we've
mute
had
it.
so many
Just
discussions
like
over
that,
the
and
years
there's a
about,
big gap
these
between
coastal issues and
real
the rising
life and on
seas and
YouTube,
the
even bigger
eroding,
than on
eroding the
Facebook.
coastline and the homes on
So
the
this is
coastline that
Sandy
are affected
Stride,
by it,
and as you can
in
hear,
danger over the next
you're listening to
several
the current
decades,
show on
as a result
WATD,
of this.
but
And,
we'll be starting with
yeah,
Twilight
really interesting
Showcase
stuff. So that's super cool that you've
in
been
just
able
a
to
few
do that.
minutes,
That's
right
super
after the
fun thing,
news,
and
and
congratulations. I know you
particularly
started that.
after the weather.
And that
And
was
we
so
have
franchise, as I
fantastic guests
recall,
tonight,
years
as you
ago. So
can
congratulations
see.
for that coming to fruition. Yeah.
Thank you. It's not without
Matt Sherman, and on drums, Dave
Bill Bauer over at Coastal
Pavao,
Heritage, and Jeff
Pavao,
Granatino and Laura
Pavao.
from the chamber.
I could say it
And
10 more
partners
different
up
ways
at
if you would like.
Claire, and
All right, so they've got some fantastic songs all live tonight. It's going to be wonderful. And that's Tim over there at WATD Studios. So we'll do formal introductions when our show starts again, right after the weather.
So,
That would be
really
Twilight
call to
Showcase,
action
of
for
course.
Listeners, we're looking for commercial space for Ari in Marshfield. Very specific about that. This is an economic.
The South Shore's first choice for live team coverage of breaking news, emergency traffic, and severe weather. 95.9 WATD FM Marshfield and 95.9 WATD.com.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Linda Kenyon. At least 9 storm-related fatalities are confirmed, most of them in Kentucky, after severe weather struck the southeast and eastern part of the country. Meteorologist Grant Gilmore says more severe weather is on its way.
We've got millions of people underneath the threat of this extreme cold as a piece of the polar vortex pivots to the south, ushering in this dangerous blast of Arctic air. Now, combined with blustery winds, you've got actual temperatures 20 to 30 degrees below zero.
And that doesn't even account for the wind chill factor, which will make it feel much colder than that. When it comes to that flash flooding in Kentucky, that's just part of the story. CBS's Skylar Henry is following it all from Atlanta.
This is one of the most serious weather events we've dealt with in at least a decade.
The overnight storm delivered some of the most severe weather the South has seen all season, including 2 suspected tornadoes in Mississippi. And in Alabama, Sunday services were canceled after winds tore the steeple off this church.
The power is out. There's power lines down. All the trees behind the church are gone.
Amid an array of legal challenges, President Trump and the world's richest man, Elon Musk, continue their push to dismantle federal agencies and cut the federal workforce. CBS's Willie James Inman has the latest.
More federal workers are expected to get pink slips, as thousands of federal employees across at least 20 agencies are being axed in a move to cut costs. Behind the effort is the White House's Department of Government Efficiency, led by Elon Musk. Critics are blasting the purges.
Bill Clinton did things to shrink the size of government, and he did it with Congress. There's a difference between that and ignoring Congress and violating the law.
Republicans claim the cuts are needed.
President Trump wants the Supreme Court to give him the okay to fire the head of the federal agency that protects whistleblowers.
This is the first major challenge and test by Trump of how much power he has, and frankly, how much support he has by the Supreme Court that he had a big hand in appointing.
Former federal prosecutor Lori Levinson. President Trump's special envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, is heading to Saudi Arabia for talks aimed at ending the war in Ukraine.
I think the beginning here
He's
is
surrounded
trust
himself
building.
with
It's
diggers.
getting everybody to understand
He surrounded
that this
himself
war
with
does not
diggers. His
belong
first
continuing,
term, first administration,
that
he
it
had
should
people
end.
hold
That's
him
what
in
the
check.
president has directed us to do.
Witkoff spoke on Fox. Ukraine's President Zelensky has said that his nation must be at the table in any discussions aimed at ending the war. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
95.9 WATD. Good evening. 8:03, 36 still outside our studios, cooling off 10 degrees to 26 overnight. Freezing. If you haven't cleared yet, get out there. But bring a radio with you so you can listen to Twilight Showcase Radio while you do it. It's very windy tomorrow with the sunshine, but very windy. A cold week ahead. Before we get to the forecast, Daytona 500 update for everyone. Lap 125 of 200, your top five: Alex Bowman, Austin Cindric, Ryan Blaney, Chris Buescher, and Chase Elliott. Here is Mike Redden.
Tonight we'll have rain showers or a downpour early, followed by partial clearing. We'll have a low temperature of 26. For you Monday, we'll have a blend of sun and clouds with a high temperature near 30, accompanied by wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour. For Tuesday, we'll have plenty of sunshine. It'll be blustery and cold. Expect a high temperature of 24. And our outlook for Wednesday, we'll see morning sunshine giving way to increasing clouds with a high temperature in the upper 20s. For WATD, I'm Precision Weather Forecasting meteorologist Mike Redden.
Welcome to Twilight Showcase Radio, hosted by singer-songwriters Sandy Tannenbaum and Keith James from Another Midlife Crisis, featuring dynamic New England and national songwriters, engaging performances, and moving backstage interviews.
This is Sandy Tannenbaum. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on Twilight Showcase. We have incredible guests with us. Matt Whipple, accompanied on percussion by Dave Pavao. Did I get it right?
You did.
Take it away.
Wandered through the maze, trying to find a way, follow a path through life. But these things that keep me going through the day, keeping me up at night. It's tough to build your hope, keep your dreams afloat, without the weight of your ship bringing it down. Tonight I want to close all the doors behind us, don't forget to look around. And I'm thinking about things that will not come, worrying about things that'll never be done. Going through life with my head hung low, no way out but through. Think to say goodbye to these cloudy skies and set down where the sun is shining. My roots are dry without the rain, I miss the silver lining. Everything gets lost when you weigh the cost and the dreams that they sell us are lies. Tonight I want to close all the doors behind us, look into your eyes. And I'm thinking about things that will not come, wondering about things that'll never be done. Going through life with my head in the clouds, no way out but through. To get over it, I'd have to cross burning bridges and I can't find a way around. Breeze through my hair says it's all smooth sailing, but first I have to get off the ground. Believing all the things that will not come, laughing about things that'll never be done, going through life with my head held high, no way out but through, no way out but through.
That is excellent. All right, tell us a little about that song, and then we'll just brag a little more about you.
So that's an old song I wrote at some point, probably in the late 90s. So it was a song that I think I had other stuff stuck in my head. It's really just kind of angsty. Probably having returned to writing songs, I think one thing that sticks out is that the theme of it kind of pops up a lot in other kind of channels. So things like Buddhism has an idea that's the same idea as No Way Out But Through. So it's nice to kind of have that. I mean, I don't think it's not like a crazy idea. It's not something but it's nice to kind of be reminded of something that I did back when I was in my late teens and have it pop up every once in a while.
Wow, cool.
I think about it when you got an illness.
Talk into the mic. Talk into the mic.
When you get an illness,
yeah,
there's no way out but through it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that holds a lot of water.
Yep.
And interestingly enough, someone from hospice said that to me after my father passed, and he said the only way out of grief is to grieve, which
to go
is
through
basically
it. Yep.
your same thing. You can't go around it. You can't go under it. Yeah.
It's like the going on a bear hunt, right? Going on a bear hunt, gonna catch a big one.
But only with cameras. I forgot to warn you about that.
Oh.
We're big, heavy-duty animal rights people, but you
Oh,
can get great pictures. I know
the kids
I know
rhyme.
that campfire.
It's
okay.
But it's true though. It is true.
Yep.
I know what you're saying. And we didn't even say the name of it, but you kind of did. No Way Out But Through by Matt Whipple. Really beautiful job. And again, Dave, nice on the percussion.
Thank you.
Really nice, really nice. So let's tell everybody a little bit about you. That you're going to do songs. Well, first of all, let me just describe you a little bit. But I think the music took that away from me totally. But certainly an outstanding singer-songwriter with a superb voice. Keith, how did you describe it? Resonant? His voice?
I don't remember describing it, but yeah, I guess I did say it was resonant.
Really.
No, you're right.
Beautiful. Captivating music and lyrics filled with passion and purpose, which we really like around here. So thank you.
Thank you.
Some of you who have been longtime fans, David Jackson and people like that, may remember that Matt, many years ago, it's got to be like 20 years at this point.
Yeah,
I don't know.
more than that.
More than that.
Yeah. Well, I think it was around the time when you were first engaged, maybe, or about to be engaged.
It was before that, yeah.
It was even before that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that you did at Meadowbrook.
Yep.
And also
breakfast.
Kiskadee. You did a live show with us.
Yep.
So we're so delighted when you're coming back. So now we're not going to let him go, though. Okay, I said we're not waiting another 20 years. And it turns out that Dave, we may have met you when we met David
Absolutely.
Jackson. And where was that?
That was probably, I want to say the
Pathways,
mid 80s at the Pilgrim
Yeah,
Path Cafe.
that's right.
Mid
It's gotta
90s,
be.
excuse me.
Yeah.
Mid 90s, yeah.
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 Where we met David
Yeah.
Jackson, we
Yeah.
probably ran into you there.
Absolutely.
So this is really fun. A lot of memorable moments in my mind at the time. Speaking of which, I think Matt may share a few of those memorable moments when he's talking about his songs and his performances. He really is performing, has been performing for many years, because back then you also did solo, but also groups, right? I remember because you did one of the groups with us. They were very good, by the way.
Yep, and that's Dave and I have played in a
We played in a band before together as
cover
well.
Band, full band.
Yep, full band.
And you're also Sherman Whipple's son.
That is true.
And we actually met you before Sherman, and then we found out that you two were related. And Sherman is a true angel now on the other side. We are just delighted that you are going to do one of his songs for us, your cover of it. I would call it one of his signature songs, Balladeer. It was always a great song. It was always poignant. Now it's even more poignant all these years later. So we're looking forward to that. Keith James, let me get you up on camera. What are you doing tonight?
I'm going to play Last Call, a song that you wrote.
No. I'm really going to get you up on camera in 1 second here. There we go. Forgot the camera orders changed earlier during the many technical issues we had. So Last Call, which is also our theme song for the show.
That is, yep.
But we found that it's also poignant for things that are going on today.
Definitely.
So we'll maybe get a little talking going on that one. All right. Tim McKenney, what's happening tonight with you?
95.9 FM. So what's going on? I'm going to be doing a great song by George Strait called Check Yes or No.
Yeah.
All right.
And that'll be part of a...
Do you love me? Do you want to be my friend?
Yeah, that's
well,
a
if
good
you do.
song.
Okay.
They're all going to check yes, Tim. You know.
Oh, thank you. All right. Yes, check yes. Yes.
So
Okay.
a happy Valentine's Day +2, and so we'll have that as a little Valentine set in the second act, and I think you've got a bit of a love song coming up in the first set as well. A little bit, yeah. At least it makes me swoon, so that counts. All right. Let's see, anything else? Oh, yes. Of course, you can listen to us on the radio if you're in the south of Boston area on 95.9 WATD FM radio, or you can listen anywhere in the world on 959WATD.com. Just click Stream WATD. And of course, tonight, as we will always be, we are... you can watch us because we're simulcast live on YouTube Live. And there's a few different ways you can do that. That's cute. Thank you, Tim. He's showing it on his computer. So there's a couple of different ways you can get there. If you like just going to YouTube yourself, then you can look me up, and it's Sandy Stride 225. But if you don't want to bother to go to YouTube, I can give you a shortcut that you just put right in your browser. It's so easy to remember, you won't believe it. One of them is www, of course, Sandy, SANDY, and Keith, KEITH. Or you can do, Tim, you should take the or.
Or, I know. Keith, KEITH, and AND, Sandy, SANDY.com. And Sandy, just a quick note. I know we've been
here we go.
Very stringent since the dawn of the internet of putting the W's beforehand.
But we don't have to anymore.
No, we don't. I mean, if you want to,
agree.
you can, but our browsers and stuff are smart
You're
enough now.
You're absolutely right. So you can I know, I start to type in my name and it
brings
some
it up.
It's wonderful. Yeah, just sandyandkeith.com, keithandsandy.com. When you get there, click on the live thing and you'll see it live. But here's the thing. If you don't get to watch it all tonight, or if you want to tell somebody about it and maybe they want to watch it during the week, you'll be able to watch it anytime. Just go to my page and look under where it says Twilight Showcase. I think it'll also be listed under live shows, but it'll always be listed on the just choose Twilight Showcase, and then it'll bring up all the different shows that have been on. We've really just been doing it on YouTube since beginning of 2025.
And hello to John McHugh watching on YouTube.
Oh,
hi,
very
John.
Good. Hi, John.
I didn't even check that yet. It's good to know you're out there. We were just talking about your song again. When none of our
Yes.
when all of our buttons were going nuts today, all day long. So, All right. Now, let's see. We are going to, speaking of the old days, when I heard this song that you did, Call My Name, I just went nuts over it. I never forgot it. And you brought it up before I even got to request it that you'd play it tonight. I'm eternally grateful, and when they hear it, they'll know why. But just tell them a little about it, and then we want to hear it.
Sure. So this is another song that's kind of this is towards the later half of my first kind of incarnation as a songwriter, so going back 20 years, 21 years, I don't know how
More than 20 years.
Well, this one is about
more than 20 years.
So it was
it's between
new.
22 and 20 years old.
Yeah, so it was new back then.
It was new back then, yeah. Everything was new.
It held up well.
Yeah.
Go
So
ahead.
this one is just kind of, I think it's probably really just about me trying to. It's not about anybody in particular, but just kind of trying to figure out how to work with relationships and just that period of your life and working through that and drawing on different things that were going on and yeah.
Let's hear it.
Should have called you, but I can't take it. The echoes on the line. No matter how strong the signal, ends up as noise every time. Till I ain't left with nothing. This cold receiver in my hand. So much I want to tell you, but no words you'd understand. No, I sometimes wonder, you may not know what to do. You don't need to chase me, just call my name, and I'll come running back to you. I told you all I wanted, so you could read it on my face. And now I study silence, searching for my grave. No, I sometimes wonder, you may not know what to do, but you don't need to chase me, just call my name, and I'll come running back to you. No, I don't make it easy. I get so scared of what I want, lost inside my mind trip, while you try to work things out. All I ask for is forgiveness as I stumble through my plan. Whatever I have to offer, I'll give you anything I can. I know I sometimes wonder, you may not know what to do, but you don't need to chase me, just call my name, and I'll come running back to you. No, I sometimes wonder, don't understand the things I do, but you don't need to chase me, just call my name. And I'll come running back to you.
You want to take that one, Tim? Give me a minute, though. I got to get you back on camera here.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right.
Am I back on camera?
Yes, you are.
Stand by
back
for
on
camera 2. Take 2.
Yes.
Okay. Am I on now? Hi.
Yes,
All
you
right.
are.
So that was Call My Name. Lyrics and music by Matt Whipple. And you got some great stuff, Matt. This is a great feature so far.
Thank you.
Yeah, the word exquisite comes to mind for that song. And I have to say, Dave, I said this off the air, I've got to say it on the air. Your sense of adding percussion is just one of the best I've heard. I mean, the way you blend it in and know just when to build is much appreciated, let me tell you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're too kind. Thank you.
Oh, no, I didn't have to say anything, you know. No, it was
How long have
really
you been
excellent.
doing drums for, Dave?
Oh, wow. Let's see.
58 years.
Let's see. I started when I was like 9.
Oh, I'm.
I want to say started in 1975.
Wow.
Oh, well, yeah, you definitely have a good sense by now. Well done. This is, yeah.
No, it's really, really excellent.
I'm just catching it now. I'm just catching on.
Yeah.
I'm just catching on.
Yeah.
Yep.
40 years of
Just
practice.
getting the hang of it, Dad. Yeah.
Right. All right. So let's see. We talked about where we had seen you from, but some of the other bands that you're in. Now you're doing mostly solo stuff. I mean, solo and duet with.
I am. I kind of right now. I'm doing whatever lands in my lap. Basically, I'm still not fully out chasing things. So as I've run into things, I'm open to kind of whatever. I'm just interested in playing. And whatever and wherever I can. But.
Well, we'll be knocking at your door. So. But there are a couple places that you tend to show up fairly regularly, and the both of you, right? With sometimes.
I
both
just
of
started
you?
actually.
Yeah, we just I
we just reconnected.
Yeah.
Really?
So
you sound like you've been doing this together for a long time.
Well, we did it before.
Before, okay.
Yeah.
We did it quite often
It's
before.
like BC and AD. Okay, got it.
We've had
got it.
maybe a 15-year plus hiatus.
Yep.
But in that 15-year period, all these songs are still in my head. I still actually listen to them.
Yeah.
Maybe not as much as I should, but they're still ingrained in my head. The older ones. The older ones.
Yeah, I think in terms of performances, I think we've played twice over the past 3 years.
Yeah.
That was it
Unbelievable.
for-
Well, you don't sound.
But yeah,
like
some of the
it.
songs
Yeah.
he immediately just jumped in right away, had all the stops and everything. So it was.
Now, there's a couple of places, as we said, that maybe you do like an open mic or a coffee house. Coach Grill in Weymouth.
Yeah, so I have some
Wayland.
shows up there.
It's in
Wayland.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
so
sorry.
not
Wayland. Okay, big difference. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, and then I do a lot of the songwriter circles and at the Union Brew House on Tuesday nights. So
Is that one in Weymouth?
Yes.
Okay, that's where I mixed up.
So
All
I
right.
usually do 1 or 2 of those a month.
And they're on Tuesday nights, is that right?
Tuesdays, yep.
Songwriters
and it's
around.
a bunch of good. It's 9 different songwriters every time, and so it's just 3 groups of 3, and you rotate, and so you get
So
a
you
way to check
you
out
get
local
kind of
talent.
scheduled for that then. It's not just a drop-in thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I mean it's fairly open, but you just reach out to Carl and Tripp, and
Nice. And I know that you did Porch Fest when you were first getting back into all this.
that was one of the other show
We did the band. We did the full band.
No, with the Porch Fest
Stay
we
on
actually
mic,
did.
stay on mic,
Sorry,
Matt.
the Porch
It's
Fest we
okay.
actually did. It was just the 2 of us, and then we practiced for the whole band. And that was the year it got rained out.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
So it was
Now-
going to be a reunion of the band. and then-
Particular town that you do
That was
the
Hull.
Porch Fest? It is
So
in
that
Hull.
started the first year. It was actually, but that was as my father was booked to play that, and that was right as he was passing away. So
Yeah,
I
wow. You
picked
jumped
up his
in.
show.
So the torch has been
That was
brilliantly
actually when
passed
we
on.
reconnected.
Yep.
Yeah, he called me to play because his dad had passed on, and I couldn't wait to play with him.
And at that point, also,
Couldn't wait.
I hadn't played. I played a combined probably 15 minutes in
Yeah.
10 years. So I was looking for
I was
the safety in numbers.
I was very excited when you mentioned to me play.
Well, it was the good news spread fast amongst people that know you, that you were back out there performing. So we were thrilled. And as we mentioned, we actually met Sherman first, and then you first, and then when we met Sherman, we put it all together. That was during the time when you were busy raising kids.
Yep.
But we're glad that they're back. So fantastic. Well, we'll
those
keep
kids are out of the way,
talking
so get back into it.
You never know. I have a feeling they may be picking up a little something from you. I assume you play at home just for fun.
Yeah, I usually try to do that when the house is empty. But yeah, sometimes my daughter especially will jump in. But
And did you feel that when you were a kid, did Sherman play around
he
you?
did, and that's one of the reasons I play when the house is empty. A lot of times he would play because he also didn't believe. We lived in a very open house, and he didn't believe in singing in anything less than full voice. So a lot of times at 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning, I would wake to him bellowing or belting is probably the better word, belting in the living room and waking me up.
But somehow you got drawn to it, though.
Yeah, I mean it took me a while. So that was after high school and everything, and I picked it up.
Not unusual.
I think just the presence of the instruments helped.
Yeah. Well, I have a few more questions, but we'll get to them later on. But your stories are interesting, and we really enjoy that part as well. This is who we are. We've played this a couple times as for coming attractions. I fell in love with this song and just kind of hoped what it was about, but I would take anything. So tell us what it is about.
Yeah, so this song I wrote halfway through last year, and it's really it's probably most importantly a song about empathy and just the idea that everybody's kind of driven by their sense of identity, and we have these really kind of primal motivations, and they tend to push us in very different directions, very kind of irrational directions, and I think so it's kind of the idea that underneath all of the fragmentation that's going on right now, we're all kind of being driven by the same forces.
Interesting. Maybe we'll ask you a little more about it afterwards, but go ahead and take it away. This is who we are live right here on Twilight Showcase.
We've done all that we've done just to make a living. We built all that we have out of what we've been given. You come around here and you wanna pick it apart. The promise is something better, but this is who we are. We've paid our due. Everyone's gotta do it. We've had our fun, got the scars to prove it. Wave to the windows with reflections of ourselves, and we hide from the shadows. This is who we are. This is who we are. Our claims, our stakes, and our lines are drawn. This is who we are. We tend our own in the ways we choose to. We hold our ground against what we need to. Each of us working to make a world of our own. All of us together, this is who we are. This is who we are. Our claims are staked and our lines are drawn. This is who we are. This is who we are. Just locked away to be where we belong. This is who we are. This is who we are. Claims are staked and our lines are drawn. This is who we are. 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 This is who we are.
Beautiful job. Take it, Tim.
This is Who We Are. Lyrics and music by Matt Whipple.
I felt some strength in that, saying the name, and that's also what I'm getting out of your song. That yes, there's empathy in there, but to me it goes a little past just empathizing. It seems like you're perhaps taking a stand. In a good way. I do mean that in a very good way.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's also, it was partly inspired too by some novel I was reading at the time, and just kind of the,
Interesting.
I mean, there's definitely I think there's a tendency for some people to really embrace what makes them unhappy, and so I think just kind of that, and not like a conscious choice, but just, again, that kind of primal drive, and so it's, from that perspective, it's empathy, and then it's also just kind of making sure that we recognize that we are all driven by things that don't make sense until we stop and think about it, really.
And
We got
yet,
some feedback or something?
again, perhaps a little bit of influence there, or I see the same thing in your dad. In fact, we're going to be going to his signature song, Balladeer, that I think it makes a tremendous sense. I think that's part of what's been missing from a lot of people right now who are upset about things that are going on.
Yep.
But it's scary to speak up.
Well, and I think the technology doesn't help with that either, with the kind of the way that you can create these echo chambers.
And people attacking you online. Absolutely.
Well, and it just reduces the level of discourse. It just becomes these personal kind of back and
Yes,
forth.
absolutely, absolutely. Rather than people being able to feel and talk things over, even if you disagree.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I think that's a good transition into. Do
Is
we
it-
know what we're doing wrong? Is it me or
It's okay.
My mic is very hot, so that could be it.
Okay.
No, it's not
No,
you.
okay.
No.
me?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all right.
I just step back a little. That's no. I just can't figure out where. All right. So we know that your dad did stand up for things he believed in. Do you feel like any of that? You got anything from that?
Yeah.
Where you tell us a little about that, if you're comfortable. What your amount you're comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the energy my father had for it. I mean, I think I got like an overdeveloped super ego from my father. I think he's a person of principle. I think I got that.
Wait a minute. Talk a little slower. I really care
Sorry.
about what you're
Yep.
saying.
I think I inherited a lot of his sense of principles.
Uh-huh.
I think that he was also kind of very interesting if you kind of scratch the surface of the things that he said versus what he did. But I mean, in terms of that, I mean, for political stuff, I donate to causes. That's kind of how I do it. But I know he was doing memes and all that stuff. I don't have the capacity to do that. That's something I might get into as I get older, but yeah. And right now is not the time. I wouldn't want to do it right now. It would just drive me crazy. But yeah, I think that a lot of the perspectives, he passed on to me.
Yeah. But it does come through in a really good way in your songs. It's not like a preachy way. It's not like a bashing people over the head way.
Yeah.
But you get your messages across, especially this is who we are. I mean, I could feel it. Songs have a life of their own, but in a good way.
Yeah, one of my favorite songs of my father's was White Hats, Black Hats, and a lot of it is kind of that, just the idea of having the recognition of the fact that it's a complex issue and being able to approach it that way instead of trying to take the simplistic stance. I think.
Now we're going to get into Balladeer, that you're going to do a cover of his song, which, as we say, was one of his signature songs. And it was interesting to hear some of the lines at the end of his song because it was prophetic for what's happening now. Again, these are all compliments, believe me.
Well, I like so I have my story for the song, but the last line I think is particularly, it's a perfect Sherman line too, because it's talking about how all of these bad things will happen, but then it ends with, and maybe I'll finally get to benefit from it. Like, finally my chance of being the protest songwriter will pay off. Yeah, I mean, my memory of the song is that he had a cassette tape, and when I was a kid, I found that, and he had always played cover songs, and it was all his originals. I don't know where he recorded it, but this was the first song, and so it always kind of stuck in my head. So even before it was anybody else's signature song, it was the one song that I thought, like, oh, my father wrote a song, and I was like blown away as a 7-year-old or something finding that tape.
Cool. Well, we'll listen to it, and then if you have any more you want to say, of course, we're always happy to hear it.
All right.
Take it away.
Okay, so after me, right?
Stay for a moment, hear my song. Better days, long time gone. I'm a story-telling guitar man, sees not the right for the wrong. My vision's been clouded by battles never won, victories too slow to come. We all forgotten how we marched to the cry, we shall overcome. Do you remember the psalms that I sang? Words of peace, words of love. I'm yesterday's protest balladeer, today's has been never was. 68, I heard the call, so I learned the chords and words. Then I sat on my ass, sang high up on grass. Applause was all that I heard. Times they have changed, as the poet said. Issues and leaders are dead. Died not of bullets, but of boredom, he said. Why fight when you're being well fed? Do you remember the songs that I sang? Words of peace, words of love. I'm yesterday's protest balladeer, today's has been, never was. Do you remember words were so good, thrilled your heart, filled your mind? Yes, I even recorded a song of my own, but said it's ahead of its time. Yes, I once sang for thousands, both dollars and souls. That was a lifetime ago. Now I play in a bar and I sleep in my car. My God, where did it go? Do you remember songs that I sang? Words of peace, words of love. I'm yesterday's protest Balladeer. Today has been, never was. War and injustice, they'll be back someday. Maybe they've always been here. But I'll be ready with my songs and guitar. Maybe I'll make it this year. Do you remember songs that I sang? Words of peace, words of love. I'm yesterday's protest Balladeer. Today's has been, never was. I'm yesterday's protest Balladeer. Today's has been, never was.
Remember that song, Tim?
Yeah, I sure do. Yeah, absolutely. That yes, that was Balladeer, folks. But no, that wasn't Sherman Whipple. That's his extremely talented son,
You know,
Matt Whipple,
yeah.
and Dave on drums. Wow.
Yeah.
And I just want to make one comment on you got a great voice, Matt, and when you get into that, not higher octave, but you remind me of a country singer from about 30 years ago, Josh Berry. Had some country hits out. She's Taken a Shine, Kiss Me in the Car and stuff, but you sound similar to him. It's nice.
Right.
You have a good voice.
Check him out.
Yeah. And we're going to talk a little more about Sherman in the second act because we're going to play one of Sherman singing one of his songs. But the line about has been, never was, we disagree with that, and we'll talk a little more about that in the second act. But thank you. That was beautifully done and quite a terrific tribute as well. Speaking of which, we mentioned this, that we're thinking of doing, I don't know if I already mentioned this on the air yet, I don't think we did, but we are thinking of doing a show that we do more of Sherman's music, some tribute songs, some actual recordings, and love to get you both involved in that, and there's some other people I know, Stephen Martin and Kathy Dunn, that I'm sure will want to get involved, Eileen Springer and so on. So we'll talk a little about that for the future, but we have not. We do those before, and we love doing them, and we will certainly want to keep playing Sherman's music. So
I'm resolved to learn a song a year.
Wait a minute, go right.
I'm resolved to learn a song a year of his. So that'll keep me busy for a little. He didn't write that many songs, so that won't take me that long. But yeah, so.
Yeah. We'll certainly make it work, and we would be honored to have you involved. You know, when you have time. I know that you're a little bit busy. Yeah. By the way, if there's anyone you want to do shout outs to, or family, or people you work with, or anything, just go right ahead. We forgot to. It's a good idea to mention your wife.
Yeah, I don't know. My wife said she might listen, so she listens. Hi, Liz.
And can we
if
tell
she has
everybody
any
her
energy
first
left.
name?
Liz.
Hey, Liz, thank you. Thanks for sharing Matt with us here tonight, because he's doing a fantastic job. Go right ahead, Matt. You were going to say something.
No, just the name.
Well, we are delighted. So Balladeer, I think, was a good transition, Keith, to get into our song. And
sure.
I'm just going to put you on camera. Yes. And I'm going to talk a little, this song I wrote. So we've been, screaming at the TV a lot. I don't know if any of you are finding that these days. And not real happy about what's going on with the leaders of our country. And there's just been so many things, and I thought, how on earth can we even touch on just a few in our Who Cares segment, which this is. So I just put down some notes about things that I've been thinking, both about what's going on that's crazy and horrible, and some really good things that are going on too. So I'll say that today, our president and half of the legislators, many cruel government officials and some unofficials, are really hurting people as they preach that blatant lies are now a mandatory truth. They threaten, humiliate, and abandon our families, our friends, our allies at home and even around the world. They eliminate those in their way with intimidation, ridicule, and yes, extortion. They are filled with delusions of grandeur and manic with power as they lay fertile ground for an American coup. But can their cruelty and lies actually awake the sleeping giants within a lot of us? So I want to say a thank you to the so-called ordinary people among us who speak up to those leaders and legislators with calls, letters, emails, and songs. Thank you also to those who post or broadcast the truth, and those who sue the administration or even protest in the streets. To the lawyers, prosecutors, organizations, law enforcers, and soldiers who step forward to help us, and to those who say no when asked to break the law or hurt the innocent. We have seen your bravery in the least likely places you'll find, even though you said it would never happen again, and if it did, no one would care. What was it that kept you going when nothing that happened was fair? Is it too late, or is this just our last call?
You said it would never happen again, and if it did, no one would care. What was it that you got?
Take two.
Okay. You said it would never happen again, and if it did, no one would care. What was it that kept you going when nothing that happened was fair? Last call for anonymity. 300 people will be knocking at your door. Last call for anonymity. This is what you've been waiting for. Was it the look in his eyes you remembered, or what you held on to when she drifted away? The chance that it wasn't all lost at sea, or just alone you really wanted to repay? Last call for anonymity. 300 people will be knocking at your door. Last call for anonymity. This is what you've been waiting for. This is what you've been waiting for. And now when you think it's too late, in the least likely places you'll find, throw a promise you never believed in. You'll recover what was left behind and be discovered just in time. Last call for anonymity. 3,000 people will be knocking at your door. Last call for anonymity. This is what you've been waiting for. This is what you've been waiting for. This is what you've been waiting for. Last call.
People will be knocking at your door. 3,000 people will be knocking at your door. 3 million people will be knocking at your door. Last call. Oh yeah. Whoa.
Thanks for singing along.
That was Last Call. I wrote that, and Keith wrote the music, plays it beautifully.
And the crowd goes wild.
Yeah,
baby.
Thank you so much for joining in on that. Matt and Dave. I saw a little action from Dave there, too. That actually would be good with your type of percussion. That would be great. Well, I'd like that with keyboard and bass, just in case anybody's listening and wants to join in.
Next time I'll bring my
And electric guitar, too. That would just do it for, well, a lot of our songs that's what we want. So. All right. Okay, we've got just a couple of minutes, so let's go ahead and do, am I right? To the End of Memory? Let's see what yeah, I think we can fit it.
Okay.
Take it away.
Nighttime is falling, storms are in bed. We regroup in our harbor for the tempest ahead. I watch how you weather. I keep doing it wrong. 'Cause years are so short, but the days are so long. Time will move me where I thought I'd never be. Time won't hurt my time and the money and the things to be done are racing each other as we stumble around. I feel that some days I've got a grip on it all, and I hear a scratching from inside my wall. Time will move me where I thought I'd never be. Time won't hurt me. Running to the end of memory. Time will move me where I thought I'd never be. Time won't hold me, running to the end of memory. Sometimes it feels like we're winning, but we don't know the score. We just collect all these tokens that make us want to play more. I get caught in the moments. I know at the end of this game, this love that we've shared will be all that remains. And time will move where I thought I'd never be. Time won't hold me, running to the end of memory. Time will move me where I thought I'd never be. Time won't hold me. I'm running to the end of memory.
And we will be back after the news and weather.
Wintry mix of snow, freezing rain, and then just plain rain. WBZ's Suzanne Sawsville reports.
Patrick uses a large front-end loader with a plow attached to put yet more snow onto a 25-foot-high pile.
I love it. I've been doing it my whole life.
As he pushes the snow, lots of water and ice flow down around his truck, his large tires spinning.
Not only do we have to deal with this, but
Sorry, Sandy, we went a little over.
so there's a lot of salting and
No,
trying to keep
that
the
was
parking
my
lot
fault.
safe.
I read the wrong
whereas in a
time
regular snow event,
on
it's just
the
plow
song.
it, salt it, and you're
But,
done.
Suzanne Sawsville for CBS News, Boston.
Deadly.
It's okay.
Kentucky have led to
No,
at
I
least
just,
8 deaths.
I apologize
CBS News
because
meteorologist
that song
David
is
Parkinson
very
says
special,
that
but
flooding
we
is
actually
not
got the
over
whole
yet.
thing
The
in.
rivers are still
Right?
rising,
Isn't
could be
cut it
seen
off.
creeping.
No, I let it go.
Thank you.
Major
I appreciate
flood stage.
it very much.
That's a
We
concern.
played it fast, so hopefully that helps.
We owe you, Tim.
President Trump's Department
You know what?
of
It
Government
works
Efficiency
fast and it
has
works
taken
slow.
aim at
So. No,
including the U.S.
would've
Agency for
just waited
International
for-
Development.
But
Republican
it's okay,
Andrew
'cause that
Natsios,
song
a
was the
former
perfect way to
USAID
end the set,
administrator,
and
tells CBS's
it was
60
very
Minutes
much
the
a
president
who-cares
has
song,
no
in my
authority to
opinion.
do this.
And
Cannot
I
rescind
went right in
federal
there.
law by executive order, and AID is a statutory agency. The Foreign Assistance Act, I believe, is 300 or 400 pages long. You can't rescind that without an act of the Congress, and the Congress has not acted.
USAID's spending in 2023 was $38 billion. That's less than 1% of the federal budget. U.S. officials will meet with Russian counterparts this week to start talks on ending Russia's war against Ukraine. But Ukraine has not been included. Oklahoma Republican Senator Mark Wayne Mullen on ABC defends the move.
I know the negotiations are moving forward, and we want to have Ukraine and Russia both at the table. And I think the negotiations go better if both sides are looking for a peace deal because they're at a neutral position.
Ukraine's president says there should be no negotiations unless Ukraine is at the table. New York State Police have charged 5 people in the killing of Sam Nordquist, a missing transgender man from Minnesota. His body was found in a field after authorities say he was tortured for over a month. CBS's Chanel Call is following.
Authorities have so far not ruled out classifying this murder as a hate crime. If convicted, the 5 suspects in this case could face 15 years to life in prison.
The new Captain America movie looks like the winner at the bookend box office.
You're not Steve Rogers. You're right. I'm not.
This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
95.9 WATD. Good evening. 9:03 and 35 degrees outside our South Shore studios. Cooling off to 26 overnight, and tomorrow very windy. The sun is with us, but very windy and cold. Only getting up to 30 degrees. So back to the wind chill, and it won't even feel like 30. And we have some sunshine through the week and maybe some more snow around on Thursday. Oh boy, here comes Mike Redden.
Tonight we'll have rain showers or a downpour early, followed by partial clearing. We'll have a low temperature of 26. For you Monday, we'll have a blend of sun and clouds with a high temperature near 30, accompanied by wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour. For Tuesday, we'll have plenty of sunshine. It'll be blustery and cold. Expect a high temperature of 24. And our outlook for Wednesday, we'll see morning sunshine giving way to increasing clouds with a high temperature in the upper 20s. For WATD, I'm Precision Weather Forecasting meteorologist Mike Redden.
Thank you very much, Mike. Coming up, hour 2 of Twilight Showcase Radio, of course. But first...
The South Shore's breaking news, weather, and traffic station, 95.9 WATD FM Marshfield.
And a quick Daytona 500 update with 14 laps to go under caution. Your top 5, Corey LaJoie, Austin Cindric, Riley Herbst, Eric Jones. Excuse me, that is not the top 5. Top 5 is Corey LaJoie, Austin Cindric, John Hunter Nemechek, Denny Hamlin, and Todd Gilliland.
Hello, everybody. This is Jonathan Edwards, and you're listening to Twilight Showcase with Sandy and Keith on 95.9 WATD.
And welcome back to the second hour of Twilight Showcase.
Might take short, might take long. You might be here, you might be gone, but change is coming. Might take less, it might take more. Might make a whisper, might make a roar, but change is coming. Can't you hear it coming? Change is coming. For us all. Might take frogs, you might take parts, you might get lost, you might get caught, but change is coming. Might take us, it might take them, it might come sailing on a heavenly wind, but change is coming. Can't you see it coming? Change is coming. For us all. Might take fear, might take love, there might be words, there might be blood, but change is coming. It might take some, it might take all, but that old guard is gonna fall, 'cause change is coming. Can't you hear it coming? Change is coming. Change is coming. Can't you see it coming? Change is coming. Change is coming. Can't you feel it coming? Change is coming. For us all.
Oh, yeah. And that's Change is Coming. I think it's a fairly new one from Matt Whipple. You want to tell us a little about
complete
it?
Song. Yeah, I wrote that somewhere partway towards the end of last year. It's just kind of the recognition that we are kind of careening towards some kind of inflection point. Like there's going to be some significant change in the way that things are happening. And not really being sure what it was, but also kind of hopefully channeling there's the John Lennon quote of like, it's all going to be all right in the end. If it's not all right, it's not the end yet. So I think it's kind of that idea that it's all going to work out, and then it's just how we get there, and we're going to get there.
Well, I do think that there are, as much as the fast-paced negative bad changes are coming, the building up of good stuff is coming fast too.
Yep.
It's good to see, really good to see. I think it's going to be faster than a lot of us think. There's a real what's that? You know that rumble you get before the volcano goes off or the earthquake? You get that kind of rumble.
Tremors or whatever.
Yeah. I'm hearing some tremors there, so we'll see.
I think that I think we're definitely heading to a point where we need more drastic mechanisms for change, because it seems like, especially now, there's been a very gradual process, and now it's the pendulum is starting to go a little crazy, and so how that's going to play out.
You mean reaction to things that people are perhaps
actions and
unhappy about?
reactions, and just how
Yes.
that's
Yes, and that's kind of what definitely been seeing, for months, well, more than months, but at least months. I was like, where is the outrage? Well, I think it was brewing, and it's like we just don't know necessarily where to go. But now I'm seeing, check online. There's been notices about not just street protests, but other ways to express how you're feeling, and to it always helps when we all feel alone in the way we feel to find out there's a whole bunch of other people who feel just the way you do. Yep. So there's strength in that, and some safety too. So I like it. And I think we have a phone call.
We have two, Sandy. Two phone calls. Two. Count them. Two.
And
yes,
would that
we
be
have two phone calls.
Bridget and Ed from Plymouth by any chance?
Yes, you're correct. Yes.
And
yes.
are we hearing them both at once, or just one at a time?
Oh, how would you like them? I can do
both
it either
at once
way.
if you'd like. At some
right.
point, I'd love
we
to
go.
get them talking a little to each other too.
All right.
That would be so
Both
fun.
on.
Hey, Bridget, and hi, Ed. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm doing good. You sound good. Now just use your regular voice so we can hear you better, okay? And Ed, are you there at the same time? Hang on a minute, Bridget. Are you there too, Ed?
Yep.
Okay. So if you folks are allowed to talk to even each other. Did you know that if you say something, Ed, Bridget will hear you, and Bridget, if you say anything to Ed, he'll hear you too, okay? But first, let's hear what Bridget has to say, because I have a feeling she's happy tonight. What's going on, Bridget?
You know, I'm so happy.
No, I don't. Tell me.
Because I'm talking to you.
Oh, you're so... Checks in the mail, Bridget. That's great. Thank you so much. Well, we're happy that you're calling in, because people enjoy hearing you. And We missed you last time. Is everything going okay for rehearsal? I didn't know if your leg was still bothering you. We're talking about Potentials Unlimited rehearsal, our performance troupe of people with and without challenges, and we all get up on the stage together and sing and dance and act. So everything going okay? Are you on the mend?
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. Well, we look forward to you coming back. I don't have a date yet in March, but I'll let you know. But certainly we'll do one in April. And March still depends a lot on the weather and all that. But we have rehearsals about once a month. We bring people together, all different backgrounds, all different abilities, all different challenges, and we do singing, dancing together. And we've certainly done a lot of shows in the past, and we hope to do some more in the future. Right, Bridget?
Yeah.
All right. And I hear Ed in the background there.
Yep.
Did you have a comment on anything, Ed? What do you think of the music tonight?
He's got a great voice.
He sure does.
Unbelievable.
Wow, what a voice.
And how do you like? Yeah, go ahead, Ed.
What's his name again?
That's Matt Whipple, and you have heard his dad. His dad has crossed over, but we've had his dad, Sherman Whipple, on the show several times, and you heard him.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
That's right,
Yep.
exactly. And what about Dave? What do you think of that percussion that he's putting in there?
Hi.
That's a hi from Bridget. Hey,
Hi, Bridget.
she doesn't say hi to just anybody.
All right.
Okay. Well, Bridget, what do you think about Dave's playing the drum he's playing? How does it sound? Go ahead. No, not. Go ahead. What did you want to say to Dave?
How you doing, Dave?
She want to know how you're doing.
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Well, Dave, I'm really happy today.
Bridget, use your regular voice, hon, so we can hear it. When it's very high, it's hard for us to hear it. Okay, it makes it come out fuzzy on the radio. So just use your regular, beautiful voice. All right.
I'm happy.
And by the way, we should tell people you are an incredible actor, by the way. She does, in addition to singing and dancing with us, she does acting. And man, sometimes I don't even realize she's acting. She gets me sometimes, right? Okay, now Ed, you were going to make a comment about Dave and his drums?
Yeah, David.
Yes.
Did you have voice training?
That's Matt who does the singing. David is on playing the drums.
Do you want to answer that? No.
Voice training?
I've not had any voice training.
That's
And
Matt.
it comes like,
Someday.
and you're good at it? Whoa. And so you
He
play
was
the
born
drums
like
and
that.
the guitar?
Yep.
You play guitar and drums together?
No. Dave is playing drums. Dave, say hi to Ed.
Hello, Ed.
Hi, how's it going?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Wonderful.
And Matt is playing guitar and singing. Got it?
How did you play guitar and how you play drums the same time?
How do you do it at the same time?
Each person is playing one instrument. You know that, Ed.
Yeah.
Dave is playing drums. You mean how do they do it together so well? Is that what
Yeah.
you're, okay. Translation. Thank you, Ed.
Practice.
Practice.
There you go.
They spent a lot
There
of
you
time
go. Yeah.
practicing.
That's good.
Years of practice.
Yeah.
Years.
Same if you want to play them at the same time. Just practice.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep.
Well, listen, Bridget and Ed, this has been nice having you both on at the same time, kind of bouncing back and forth like that. I like that. We should try that again next time. And remember,
Yeah, it's
for
pretty
next
good.
time, think about it, Bridget, and think about it, Ed, if either of you have a question for each other, that's okay too, okay? We'll work on that for next time. And we're going to say thank you again for both of you being such loyal fans and for calling in. And we're going to play you some more incredible music. And we're going to ask David a little more about what he does, because he actually can speak. Right, David?
Yes, I can.
All right.
Hey, for Sandy.
Say that again,
Yeah,
hon.
he's got a nice speaking voice, too.
Play Marmalade?
Wait a minute. Let me hear Bridget's.
She wants marmalade.
Oh, I know you do. But you
Story
know
of her
what?
life.
March.
Yeah, okay.
I don't have, I have to grab it. I think it's the 12th. In March, John McHugh is going to be featured, and I promise.
March 9th.
March 9th.
Number 9.
Yeah,
Yes.
12th's not
Thank
a
goodness
Sunday.
we got that figured out.
And that's going to be a dynamite show, and we will definitely play Marmalade that night. Okay, kiddo?
Okay.
Yeah, just knocked us off there. No, I'm only kidding. Bridget. We're just picking on you. All right, we love you both. Keep calling in, and we're going to play you some more great music and great conversation. Okay?
Yeah.
Take care, guys.
I'm going to say hi to you. So hi.
That's to you, Keith.
Oh, take care, yeah.
Okay. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right. Bye-bye, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
All right. Now, speaking of which, where are we at here? I keep losing my place, but I think it's just me. No, I think it is the next song.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Am I right? Yeah,
Nice.
it is. It's just me. And it also is just me, too.
Perfect.
All right. And then I will talk a little bit with Dave.
Okay.
You want to tell us a little about just me, or is it just you?
The song I wrote probably about a year ago now, I guess. But it's about technology. So I work in technology, and just kind of especially nowadays, how we are surrounded by this virtual space, but then it still doesn't necessarily translate to physical space. And so I really wrote it thinking about just kind of sitting at a bar and having all this stuff going on in my pocket. But it didn't really change the fact that, especially because that 15 years or so I took off of music, that a lot of that technological aspects have changed, but the baseline stuff hasn't. And then it's also inspired by like generative AI and all that's kind of really the way, the dangers of tech and some of the other stuff that's coming.
Here, here.
So, yeah.
Yep.
Gotta break free of this Markov chain. Words keep changing, but it's all the same. Streets of information going wider every day. People from the ether trying to carry us away, burying those phantoms that can mess with your head. Just hold tight and don't be led astray. See, it's not real when it fades. I still hear, I still hear, and I'm just me, just me. Creation and curation of the people that we are. Reality shows where we're all the stars. Nothing selfies in the service system, status stimuli. Blue light bathing while the now bars by. Try to fill the room with the lightest echo. Darkness, these false signals go away. They're just noise when they fade. I still hear, I still hear. And I'm just me, just me. When all these forms collapse into an unmixed reality, there's just me and my senses, and they keep on reminding me that I still hear, I still hear, and I'm just me, just me. Gotta break free of this Markov chain. Words keep changing, but it's all the same. Streets of information going wilder every day. People from the ether trying to carry us away, burying those phantoms that can mess with your head. Just hold tight and don't be led astray. It's not real when it fades. I still hear,
me, Matt Whipple. David.
That's me.
Yes. I got a kick out of the fact that you, you play not just with Matt, but all over the place. And one of the bands you're currently playing with is Calamity Brain.
Calamity Brain.
Tell us about Calamity Brain.
Calamity Brain is just that. It's pretty much of a calamity. We do original music. It's a band based out of Westport, Massachusetts. It's comprised of anywhere from 3 to 7, sometimes even as much as.
Hang on one second, David. We have to get back on Bricklink. So
Oh,
go
sure.
ahead and talk, but I've got to work on that. Just
Okay.
I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, sometimes whereas anywhere from 3 to 8 members of the band, and I've been with them for about 3 years now, and it's a lot of fun.
You're writing all original music?
Mostly originals. We
Yeah.
do covers and originals,
Yeah,
but
sometimes whereas,
we try to really push the originals, and we play at venues that really don't play originals, but we sneak them in, and they're very familiar. They're very familiar songs.
And we would like to hear them. You're going to send me some. We want to see a
At
little
some
about
point,
what they're doing.
As soon as I get permission, I will. Because I didn't write them. I didn't write the songs.
No, I won't
Yeah.
do anything with them, and
Yep.
I would just be listening to them to see if perhaps
Absolutely.
they might be something
Oh,
that
sure.
we'd like to spread around.
Absolutely.
And we book many months ahead, so you just go ahead and send it when you can, and
Absolutely.
then we'll talk to you.
I will.
Just never worry that if anybody sends us something, we would never just go ahead and play it on the radio without talking to you guys.
Absolutely.
first. So, but yeah, I can't imagine they'll say no, but you never know. Now, we did lose a Bricklink connection, but we're back. Tim, I saw a message come up when you were. I did see the message come up, but I couldn't read it fast enough when you told me. And on YouTube. Not YouTube. We're on Zoom. The messages come up and then they disappear.
Oh,
so
well,
thank you
I
for
also
holding up a sign. That
You're
was
welcome.
perfect.
Well, I first sent a message to you on Facebook Messenger.
Yeah,
Thought
and
that
I
would be
didn't.
quicker, but
wasn't-
yeah.
Yeah, and I wasn't paying attention to Facebook
okay.
because I am
It's all right.
captivated by these people.
I know.
So my apologies to the
I'll
radio
just-
audience.
I'll hold up the white paper first next time.
Yeah, that is really effective. But my apologies to people on the radio that we lost a little there. But perhaps when we do an encore, we'd be able to stick it back in there. So the song that got cut off on. So, but anyhow, getting back to Dave, you've got a gig coming up with
Friday.
Calamity Brain.
Calamity Brain.
Yeah, and it's Friday. Where?
It's at the Troy City Brewery in Fall River, Massachusetts.
Okay.
Yep.
But you also perform other places.
I do. Well, with Calamity Brain, we play we play quite a bit. Some in Rhode Island, some in South Coast. For the most part, we are on Facebook as well and YouTube. Calamity Brain can be found
Are
on
you?
both of those.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I could check out some of the stuff there.
You can check out some videos on YouTube as
I
well.
would like to do that.
Yep.
I'd quickly explain what the South Coast is, because only people that live on the South Coast know it. So that's if you go from Cape Cod to Providence, like 195, that's the South Coast.
And a lot of people know Fall River or
New Bedford.
Fairhaven down that way.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So
I was born
that's-
in Fall River, but I spent many years in Plymouth.
And what part of Plymouth did you live in?
I lived in South Plymouth, down in Buttermilk Bay area.
Towards Cedarville.
Yeah,
Not quite.
Not quite.
In between. Yeah. Okay. Very
yeah.
cool.
It's like you had to leave Plymouth to go back into Plymouth.
Yeah. I understand.
It meets Wareham and Onset and
Yes.
Buzzards
Oh,
Bay.
now I know where you mean. Yeah.
That area.
Yes. A lot of real pretty scenery out that way.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Cool. Very neat. Well, we would like to see more of both of you together, and we would also like to get to know you more and see if we can get
Wonderful.
more people in. And of course, if Dave is being featured, we'd still welcome you to either come or even join in as a Zoom co-host, however you want to do it. But, that would be very cool to have your feedback and so on. Do you ever do anything with any of his bands, or not yet? Or?
I've listened to them.
And that's
Yeah,
cool.
that's about it.
But we love the networking. Almost, I would say 80% of the people that come here are because someone else came and recommended them and so on. So we do appreciate that.
Oh, wonderful.
I will
We're
probably
always
try to go to Troy Brewing Company next Friday.
Wonderful.
I think I'll have time for that. So.
All right. But yes, we would love to have you folks come back. So keep them out. Oh, we have another call. And
Yes, we do.
We can go ahead and take that.
All right. We've had our number one, our number two fans. Well, they're all number one fans. But,
That's right.
Anyway,
They are.
I guess we could call him our third number one fan. We have John McCarthy in Yonkers.
Hey, John, how are you doing? Thanks for calling in.
Oh.
From
Oh,
Yonkers,
welcome.
New
Hi,
York. Oh,
everybody.
sorry, I'll back up.
How are
From
you,
Yonkers, New
everybody up
York.
there?
Say that again, John.
How is everybody up there?
Wonderful. Good.
We're having a terrific night. Are you watching as well as listening? Are you watching on YouTube?
I'm just listening right now, and I'm enjoying the show. And it's very important what you were always saying, and that was a nice instrumental with the harmonica and that instrumental, you know. And I love Bridget and Ed and all of you. And did you all have a nice Valentine's Day?
Oh, yes.
Yep. Very nice.
Very good. Absolutely.
We were
Yeah, me
working,
too.
getting ready for this show.
That's right.
I'm sure, and it's a great one tonight, and a great relaxing one. And
Good.
my girl had to work, but I hurried down, all dressed up. with
I
flowers
saw,
to
and
say
you
hello.
had a
She
wonderful,
liked that.
yeah, you looked like you guys were having a nice time. And you know what? So he was thinking instrumental because when the sound got cut off on the radio or on the internet, sending out just the audio signal, so he was paying a lot of attention to it. There was beautiful instrumental part on that last song. So, well, you know, when you get a chance, John, when you get a chance, you can go on YouTube, you know, because you can anytime on our page, and so can other people, and just look under Twilight Showcase, and you will see the whole show, and you'll get to hear the rest of that song, because a little of it got cut off on the radio.
Yes, I can do that. And do you still have the thing on Facebook? I couldn't find it tonight.
No, we connect with people on Zoom, although these people are here live in the studio, but we're connecting with Tim on Zoom, and then we have to choose. We can send that video out to Facebook or out to YouTube, and for now we've been using YouTube whenever we can because they have
That's
such a
great.
great way.
Yes,
They create a library for us on YouTube, so people can watch our shows anytime, which is very cool.
Yes, I see that. That's fabulous.
Yeah, and
that's
and
great.
it's
Thank
good.
God.
And just for those who are listening and want to check that out in the future, remember there's a shortcut that's easy. Just go to sandyandkeith.com or
That's what I did.
keithandsandy.com, and that's Keith, and you spell out the word AND and then SANDY, and it'll take you right to our YouTube page, and there's lots of great shows, and there'll be more coming up. And you are going to be doing a Zoom co-host. We'll be talking about that off the air, but on March 9th when John McHugh is featured. And shout out to John McHugh, because he had a nice comment there on YouTube, which we'll read in a minute. But
Oh, thank you.
thank you, John.
Hi, John, if you're listening. Oh, you're welcome. I love you all in Massachusetts.
We love you
Nighty
back.
night.
So we'll talk
you.
with
Good
you
night,
soon.
everybody.
All right. Take care, and
Okay.
thanks again for calling in. I just wanted to get that
Good
comment,
night,
but
John.
I believe what John
Okay.
McHugh said was,
Bye-bye.
I'm going to quote you loosely, John, was that he had heard Sherman do Balladeer many times. As you know, that's a fan favorite. And when he heard you, I got to read what he said. 'Cause
He said Matt's rendition absolutely blew him away.
thank you. You're right on the
All
ball
right.
with that.
Hey.
Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
I got a laptop here. There's no excuses.
Well, I have two, but I spend half the night running back and forth between
That's
them.
all right. Yeah.
So, and let's see, it makes you check in with the comments. And you know, if we do have some comments, and there are some that coming in on Facebook as well. One was from John McCarthy, that you rock.
Nice.
I saw that, John McCarthy. Okay. So let's see. John McHugh. I heard Sherman do Balladeer many, many times. Matt's rendition absolutely blew me away. That one bared repeating. And then he also said, really enjoyed Matt and Dave. Fantastic voice and guitar playing, Matt. Yeah, your tunes are really, they grab your attention, you know? So, and the words are just, I really like a song where I need to listen to it more than once to get all of the layers. Speaking of which, what would you like people to get out of your songs? Is there any thoughts about that?
Whatever they can get, as long as I want people to get something. So I think that's part of, I mean, anything you create and put out there. It's, I mean, especially even songs that I've written, I get different things from years past when I look at songs I wrote a long time ago. So yeah.
Any particular memorable moments? Perhaps maybe someone said something to you about songs, or just something that pops into your head when you were live, or just maybe hanging out and people hearing your fantastic renditions.
I mean, the compliments certainly stick. So, thank you.
Dave, you've been out performing live.
Oh, absolutely.
With Matt. Do
Yep.
you get a feel how the audience is reacting to him? Or to both of you, I should say.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's usually a pretty good feel. I mean, we get a lot of compliments from people, a lot of smiling faces, people, singing along. And if they know the originals, they sing along the originals. So it's always a good time.
Yeah.
And usually, if they don't pay attention to us at the beginning, they're paying attention by the time
you win them over.
we win them over.
Right. So your fans you can count on all the time, but when you win over new people,
yeah, it's fun when you see a room
special.
like slowly shift.
And
you're not paying attention at all. So.
No. I think also the people that are listening tonight who may have never heard you or heard of you, might not have even heard when Sherman was on, are just going to be fans because guys are doing a super job, really.
Thank you.
All right, we got another song here. And we played the last song from the last set, and you didn't even get to say anything about that. And that one, I love the, say the name again.
To the End of Memory?
To the End of Memory. And there's a couple of lines in there that we were talking about on the phone. Time will move me, places I never thought I'd be.
Yep.
Or to where I never thought I'd be. Love that. Any comment on that song, where that came from?
Well, the song is about really kind of parenting and adulting, and just kind of that's what ends up happening. And then, I mean, the style also probably kind of an anecdote is that for a long time with young kids, I didn't play guitar because you need to be ready to catch them at a given time, and a guitar is kind of unwieldy to do that. So I started to play a little bit of ukulele. And so that song I think I wrote on ukulele, so that's kind of the feel that it has. And that's the actual inspiration is from a computer tech book, To the End of Memory. It's about computer programming, and then I repurposed it and made it about real life.
Interesting. I like that a lot. Doing that.
Yeah, and I like it. It's nice because it's dead. I mean, the first verse is really kind of to my wife, and then it's all just kind of about our family. So it's nice from that perspective.
But I think a lot of people can relate to it. I really do. Okay, so next one is Unanswered. Also got a lot in there. Do you want to talk a little about that?
Yeah,
and then we'll hear it.
So this is the first song I wrote getting back into music. I wrote the song right after my father passed away, so that was that's what got me back playing out, basically. And so I actually played a benefit for him at the old Ship Coffee House. They did a kind of resurrection thing, and the next day I had an emotional hangover, and so I kind of had this little piano thing that I had kicking around, and so I took that and expanded it to make Unanswered. And I guess probably one of the other stories that's interesting, the first verse especially, because I think that when somebody passes away, a lot of times you need to deal with all this stuff that they leave behind, and that's what it's about. But an interesting part, I think it's interesting, if your parents move, then everything they have are things that they intentionally took with them, like especially through multiple moves. And my father he spent time in marketing, And so he had a lot of just random old brochures and stuff like that. And there was, chances are he had something that he had done in that. But it was just that extra level of stuff that seemed like total junk, but you knew that there was some kind of significance to it. And so just kind of having the question of what it was.
I'm really glad you said that, because I feel too many people just go in and toss everything, because it's a lot of work, you know, to go through 10 boxes to find those 4 treasures.
Yep.
But those who take the time, it means so much to them and to others as well. So thank you.
Yep.
Well, let's hear it, and then we'll talk more. Go right ahead.
Photos and letters and old magazines, some so familiar, some I've never seen. So many pieces left behind on your road. Why are these things that you keep? The life you've chosen, the place you call home, surrounded by friends and living alone. Endless stories of the good times you had. Are you doing okay? Maybe I waited too long. These questions appear. Maybe the answers are gone. Were they ever there? Through good and bad, I could see where you go. Never shy to share the things that you know. Still ground to cover, now the trail's getting cold. What do I do now? Keeping it simple, avoid the cliches. I'll sing for the audience, punch what I say. This is my new one, what do you think? Am I doing this right? Maybe I waited too long. These questions appear. Maybe the answers are gone. Were they ever there? Maybe I waited too long. These questions appear. Maybe the answers are gone. Were they ever there? I'm sure you'll always have plenty to say. Now it's time for your loose ends to get packed away. One last message of love on your wall. Are you ready to go? Maybe I waited too long. These questions appear. Maybe the answers are gone. Were they ever there? Maybe I waited too long. These questions appear. Maybe the answers are gone. Were they ever there?
Wow. I am so glad you gave the intro on that, because it helped us to get so much even more out of it. The guitar, you want to tell us about that now? It's a good, seems like a good timing.
Yeah. Well, this guitar is, I have the last song about it, but this is a guitar that I kind of picked up when it was not being played. It needed some work. It had these old Gibsons have a floating saddle, so which led the bridge to be cracked, and so it was unplayable. And so but I still played it because it was a nice guitar, and I just couldn't play up the neck and had really strong hands apparently. But then I bartered with Chuck Oakes, for people that know him, and he took it. And so this kind of goes back to the fact that I played music and then I kind of stopped, and then that's when my father kind of restarted playing music. And so I played the guitar and I brought it down south with me. I busked with it in South Carolina and stuff like that, and then I got it fixed, and then I stopped playing, and then Chuck, when he was done with it, gave it back to my father. He kind of went up to him one day and he's like, I think I have your guitar. And so, yeah, and then I got it back after my father passed away. But it was
That's what made me think of it, the song, because it was you both playing.
Yep. Yeah, that was so this guitar kind of went on with me on my journey of playing and stopping, and like I never had this. Dave never saw this until we just started playing.
Right.
I had like a cheap acoustic guitar that I used to play.
I'm not going to let you get past that other song too quick, though. Unanswered. Maybe I waited too long. Do you feel like talking a little about that?
Well, the song, it's part of the structure of the song too. But I mean, it was like I was saying with packing up. You have all these questions.
Yes.
That I mean, it's anytime you have anything, you always think of the questions you wanted to ask after it's too late. And when somebody passes away, you know that it's not there. And so the whole song is set up so that it's all these questions, and then the song itself is kind of a question. But yeah, I think it's the nature of death that you kind of have these unresolved questions.
However, I'll just give you from what we've experienced and take it or leave it. First of all, I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of pride coming through right now from your dad. And while you can't sit down and just talk quite the same like maybe you used to, the things that you went through, the things that you found, there will be clues, as you said, in there to answer the questions. But sometimes, I don't know if you've had this experience, we have, and several people we know, that sometimes you'll get guided to a particular place. Like I said, you'll have those 10 boxes, and you'll put your hand in one of them and pull out just the thing you need to answer one of your questions.
Yep.
And that's not your imagination. Okay. We've had, in fact, Marana, who's going to be on her show, when her grandfather, she was cleaning up all the stuff from her grandfather, and tons of stuff, and she found a transcript of a book that had never been published. But I mean, she fell onto it, and of course she proceeded with it and took it on and published it. But the point was, with all that stuff, she might not have found it, and she felt that same feeling of, I was being guided to do that. I had that with my mom, some things that I did not know she had and meant so much. So I like to use this example, and nobody has to agree with what we've experienced, but the example is, if you were sitting there, but I didn't believe you were sitting there, and you were trying to talk to me, and I just, no, he's not really there, would frustrate the hell out of you. I can say probably. Hell. And that's my sense of it. It's that the questions, you got a question, find a good place where you're in the mood and just go ahead and answer it. And I bet you're going to get even more information than you thought. Yeah. So, and if I'm wrong, what have you got to lose? So, anyway, Sherman, we thank you. We definitely thank you, and one of the ways that we want to thank you is that we want to hear, no, that would be, where did it go? There it is. Sherman Whipple. That's right, it's part of a double play. I forgot, I kept seeing your song and I didn't see Sherman's. So we've got a double play coming up, which is Valentine's Day, but also we just want to hear something from Sherman. And this is a recording of Wallflower, and we'll play that, and then we'll follow it up by Tim McKenney, Check Yes or No, and then maybe we'll ask you some more questions or talk a little more, if we think of any, about Sherman. I got to get over to the other computer, though. Here we are. We're having too much fun talking, right? All right. Wallflower, recorded by Sherman Whipple, live.
It's called Wallflower. Feel free to stomp your feet, clap your hands. I'm just a wallflower at a high school dance. Hands in my pockets while my true love dance. With Michael and Johnny and Larry and Paul You know that she was the belle of the ball, and she said, give me a chance, one more dance. I'm young, I'm beautiful with the world in my hands. Remember, I love you, believe me, it's true. Dance is soon over, I'll go home with you. Well, I gave her some flowers and I gave her some gifts. Gave her a diamond for her fingertips. I asked her to marry, and when she said yes, she's still holding hands with my best friend Jeff. And she said, give me a chance, one more dance. I'm young, I'm beautiful with the world in my hands. Remember, I love you, believe me, it's true. Dance is soon over, I'll go home with you. At the wedding reception, I danced with my bride. My arms wrapped around her, I was so happy inside. But that was the last dance we had all night. She kept right on dancing with every man in sight. And she said, give me a chance, one more dance. I'm young, I'm beautiful with the world in my hands. Remember, I love you, believe me, it's true. Dance is soon over, I'll go home with you. Well, 20 years passed since we took our vows. We have 2 children of whom we're quite proud. Their hair, it's blonde, their eyes are sky blue. They look just like me, she said, maybe a little like you. And she said, give me a chance, one more dance. I'm young, I'm beautiful with the world in my hands. Remember, I love you, believe me, it's true. Dance is soon over, I'll go home with you. Well, I know I look stupid, you may think me a fool, but remember the same could happen to you. If I'd made her a slave, she'd wanna be free. But let her dance, she came back to me. And she said, give me a chance, one more dance. I'm young, I'm beautiful with the world in my hands. Remember, I love you, believe me, it's true. Dance is soon over, I'll go home with you.
It started way back in 3rd grade. I used to sit beside Emmylou Hayes, a pink dress, a matching bow, and her ponytail. She kissed me on the school bus, but told me not to tell. Next day I chased around the playground, across the monkey bars to the merry-go-round. And Emmylou got caught passing me a note. Before the teacher took it, I read what she wrote. Do you love me? Do you want to be my friend?
Well, then don't be afraid to take me by the hand if you want to. I think this is how love goes. Check yes or no. Now we're grown up and she's my wife. Still like two kids with stars in our eyes. Ain't much changed, I still chase Emmylou up and down the hall, around the bed in our room. Last night I took her out in a white limousine. 20 years together, she still gets to me. Can't believe it's been that long ago when we got started with just a little note. Do you love me? Do you want to be my friend? And if you do, well then don't be afraid to take me by the hand if you want to. I think this is how love goes. Check yes or no. Do you love me? Do you want to be my friend? And if you do, well then don't be afraid to take me by the hand if you want to. I think this is how love goes. Check yes or no. Check yes or no. Check yes or no. Check yes or no.
We're checking yes, Tim McKenney.
Yes. And that, of course, was check yes or no. Songwriters on that are Danny Wells and Dana Hunt Black.
Very nice. And before that, of course, we had Sherman Whipple, Wallflower. Beautiful job on that.
Yes.
He does it. Sounds good. Well,
And one more fun fact on Check Yes or No, it's coming up on its 30th anniversary of being released this year.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, again, a happy
Crazy.
Valentine's Day +2.
Right, yes.
Yeah. Some of us will be celebrating next week as well. So, all right, now, here's what we got. Next week, be sure to tune in. We've got Alex Amato presenting live from Nashville with singer-songwriters Matt Long and Kiefer Wiley. You've heard them all on our coming attractions. They are fantastic. It's going to be a lot of fun. Live from Nashville. They'll be all together live via Zoom, so be sure not to skip that one. Now, we've got the Mirror, and I would say that we have just a little bit of time left. So what I think I'm going to do is go ahead and say our thank yous and then go out with that. It'll transition us to after hours. We'll do a couple more songs, so be sure to tune in if you can. We'll be just on YouTube live for that. And remember, you can come back and watch it anytime. So I could talk with you guys for like hours. So you please, we're putting you on the spot. Please come back. We'll be doing more. You guys were terrific. And I know you've got lots more, and we love it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much to Matt Whipple. I'll do another one of these pointy things, okay, when we're done. Thank you so much to Matt Whipple. Dave Pavao. Oh, I got it right. Thank you. And to Sherman Whipple, Keith James, Tim McKenney. Shout out to Ed Perry. We would not be here without you. Keith, I think it is time to go.
Until next week.
Note those Twilight moments.
Thank you. What comes next?
Where the darkness meets the dawn.
I'm Keith James.
And this is Sandy Stride for Twilight Showcase Radio. See you next week.
Go for a walk along the water. Look at the world cast by the waves. In it your dreams a perfect order, fulfilling all that your heart craves. Your grace is untouched in the mirror, your gorgeous face beyond compare. Turn away from reality's terror, refuse to accept what's dwelling there. The mirror shows you what you want to see. Dawn and mask, in the mask you shall be. Anything is possible, believe in yourself. Everything's forgotten in your internal world. Love the water, you walk along the shore. The drops touch your lips and you love it a little more. You wade into the depths, entering paradise. Here you know everything, nothing escapes your eyes. The mirror shows you what you want to see. Dawn and mask, in the mask you shall be. Anything is possible, believe in yourself. Things forgotten in your internal world. Walk deeper, this world now fills your lungs. Your old life falls away now, your journey's just begun. Never again to face the world, the problems that it brings. Completely drown in yourself, forget all other things. The mirror shows you what you want to see. Dawn and mask, in the mask you shall be. Anything is possible, believe in yourself. Things forgotten in your internal world.
The South Shores.
And we are officially in after hours. Wow. Oh, I'm so glad you got that whole thing. That's
good timing.
Yeah.
That's thanks to Tim. He helped
Tim.
us again. Thank you, Tim. That song is so good, and there's so many great lines in there. Just, you're a pretty deep guy, Matt.
That is one of the first songs I ever wrote. So.
That's one of the first songs you ever wrote?
Yeah, that song's almost 30 years old.
Wow.
So that's good.
Yeah, tell us a little more about that song.
Yeah, I wrote it. That's right after I learned the guitar, basically. It's mostly inspired by my parents because they were, I think, probably typically kind of had a marriage that was not in great shape, and they both kind of turned very inward, and so, yeah. And so it's about kind of that descent into...
Don a mask, and the mask you shall be.
Yeah.
Wow. Just, That song, though, is just kind of, again, you write it about yourself, but it gets out there, and it's just so many other things that it brings to light, you know.
Yeah. That was always my father's favorite song of mine.
But
I almost never played it.
I don't remember ever hearing it, even though I knew you back then.
I don't think Dave ever played it with me until probably Porch Fest. I think yeah.
Porch Fest.
Do you still have other older songs back in the archive there that you wrote, I'm talking about? Not tonight, I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, there's plenty that we haven't played that you wrote.
Because he's telling me he's listening to those. So maybe, you know, when you have nothing to do, just send them over to me.
I mean, I'm trying to write new songs too. So
And
that's actually
send
one of
over
the things.
Well, I'm glad you brought the. Go ahead.
That's one of the things when I started playing, because when I did the first songwriters round, I was like, I used to be a songwriter, but I hadn't written anything in years, and so I felt like I had to earn the right to be there, but yeah.
No, you don't have to earn the right at any point. You are already doing an incredible job, but some shows will only want the newest stuff, and we like everything. So I would love to hear your new stuff. In other words, you don't have to wait until you're about to be featured. Just go ahead and send stuff over, and also send some of the other stuff, because I want to create that library so that we're ready, because your stuff is outstanding.
Yeah, thank you.
It deserves to be heard. And sometimes, depending on who our feature is, if you have a song that you want to either premiere because it's new, or perhaps an old one that you pulled out of the archives and you think, Sandy's going to love this, we'll make just a little call-in. You'll call in, and we'll play that song. Unless you are on Zoom, but if you're not, we'll just play it, the recorded version, and just do a little spot, and that'll be like a teaser for your future features and stuff.
Yeah.
So, in other words, we like radio premiering your stuff, okay? Yep. So, it's good.
Yeah, just got to record.
Yeah. So the first thing we got to say is to everybody, thank you for an incredible feature.
Definitely.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks
for having us.
Yeah.
We didn't even give you a chance. Is there anything you did want to say, either of you, to the audience, just to your listeners? Because a lot of people tune in and they on Zoom, on YouTube during the week, because it's a. I'm sorry, I'll back up. Because it's a little late for a lot of people, so they listen after the fact. And they can do that now, easy on YouTube. So anything you would like to say to them, because we didn't even give you that chance.
You got anybody you want to shout out to or anything?
Yeah, any shout out or just anything, remind
I
them
already
of.
shout out to Liz. I would shout out to my kids, but they're not going to watch.
Oh, no, but you might end up, you never know, we might play a little something for them from it, right? Let them hear Daddy singing on the radio. Okay, on
Unless
the
I played
internet.
the one song I wrote that is probably the only song that I wrote in like 15 years off is a song called "Brush, Brush, Brush Your Teeth," which I sing every night, and if I played that, my kids would be interested.
Well, it's not too late on Twilight Showcase, because we have after hours, and that is just a perfect time. Well, that song sounds like it probably will go anytime on the radio too. But that would be fun to have a live, if you want to. I don't know if you've practiced it enough.
No, not unless I'm brushing somebody's teeth.
Say that again?
Not unless I'm brushing somebody's teeth.
Well, perhaps next time then. But I think people would get it. We're very family oriented, but so is WATD. So, okay. Remind everybody about your next gig. I know yours is Friday.
Next Friday.
Okay.
And well, this coming Friday. Actually.
This coming Friday.
Yep.
And tell people again.
It's in Fall River at Troy City Brewery. With Calamity Brain.
The band. And you said there's like 7 people in that?
At times there's 7 people. It's
Cool.
kind of a core of 3 of us, but then there's other musicians that join us.
I'm looking forward to checking that out. And Matt, you're going to be at one of the showcases again?
Yeah, those are month by month. So I'll be at one. I don't know when I will be there in March.
But it'll be a Tuesday. So,
Yep.
hey, can people, you post some of that on your Facebook page? Do I have that right? I think
Yeah,
that's
when the
where
event comes
saw
up,
it.
I share them. Yep.
Excellent. So be sure to check out Matt's Facebook page. And are you folks available if any, I forgot to say this on the air with my apologies, but are you available like for private gigs if people want to have you?
Absolutely.
Yep.
So if they want to get in touch with you, perhaps through Facebook, is that a good way to reach out, a message or
Yep.
something?
Yeah, and we do a
And you're both on Facebook.
full set
Yep.
of cover shows. We just did 3 hours a couple weeks ago. So.
And I have a feeling if they hire you to come do a special thing at their house, they're going to want some of those originals too. So.
Yeah, I guess our next show is March 8th at
March 8th.
Coach Grill.
Already you know. Great.
Well, no, that's at Coach Grill in Wayland. So that's kind of a hike for some people.
Well, but we have people listening all over, so it's good to know. Very cool. Well, we know you have a long trip home, but do you have time to do you want to do one more live, and then I can always play one of the ones that are pre-recorded after that? Are you up for one more live, and then?
We can do. You want to do Stand For Me or Ready For You?
Sure.
It's totally up to you.
Stand For Me, little 80, I don't care.
I think we're gonna do one more. It should be one of those other two. How about Ready For You? Because we've been
Ready For
talking
You.
about this guitar.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's what you wrote. I forgot that you wrote that song about the guitar.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So some of the stuff, it's tongue in cheek. It's one of my several tongue in cheek modern songs. So it is about this guitar. It's not written about like it's about a guitar, but it is. Yeah. So this was about, especially playing when I was younger, having a guitar that was probably too nice for who I was as a player, and then finally feeling like I'm starting to grow into it.
Saw you in the corner, bereft but left alone. Thought that I could offer you a heart and home. I thought that I could learn how to treat you well. I sidled over, slipped you right out of your shell. Your body pressed against me, my hands around your neck. Fumbled with my fingers till I got what I could get. Satisfaction, hearing what I want you to say. But all that action left me sore and blistered today. Now I'm ready for you. Now I'm ready for you, I think. After hideaway days, getting to know you in the house, got myself together and I took you out. Everybody asking me where I found you. I heard them saying I bit off more than I could chew. Now I'm ready for you. Now I'm ready for you, I think. We both resent what's been broken and bent. Now I'm ready and you're better than you've ever been. I'm not the kid who found you. I've crossed a bridge or two. Strap you to my shoulder, see what we can do. And now I'm ready, ready for you. 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 I think.
Oh, that was great. And I'm glad you were able to tell us the truth that you had written. It makes sense now, but I would never have guessed. And there's a lot of that going around because we have had other people that write songs for their guitar, but they won't admit it on the air. Yes, love songs.
Well, there are some lyrics in particular in there that I would not want to be misconstrued for.
That is funny. No, you did a great job on that. Keith, where are we at with, did you want to do another one, or are you pooped, or where are we at?
The recorded version, if you want to do.
Okay. And then, I would, just take me a minute to bring it up. It's for Valentine's Day. It's actually a song that I wrote as a Valentine, and Keith turned it into a song. And John McHugh said, nice job on Check Yes or No to Tim. And Tim thanked him, of course. And we got some people saying that they were liking what was going on Facebook. So it's going to take me a minute to find that, though. Or maybe I have it here. Oh, I know I do. Well, there it is. It's right there. Okay, this is my Valentine that I wrote to Keith.
Every day he gives her precious stones. You could say he bought her love. And every day she marvels at how rich she has become. Every day he gives her precious stones. You can find them all around. He leaves rubies on her pillow and piles emeralds all over the ground. Their small home overflows with riches. Sparkling jewels fill every drawer. They will surely need to buy a castle if he gives her any more. Every day he gives her precious stones. You could say he bought her love. And every day she marvels at how rich she has become. He drapes her fingers with diamonds whenever he touches her hand. And every time he looks at her, he sprinkles sapphires in her hair. Someday when they are wealthy, you will see jewels everywhere. But their glow will be pale next to the precious stones they already wear. Every day he gives her precious stones. You could say he bought her love. And every day she marvels at how rich she has become. When they talk things over, purple amethyst fills the air, and chains of shiny platinum surround the chest of trust they share. He builds her gold and silver bridges every time he sings their songs. People say they will be rich someday, but she knows they've been rich all along. Every day he gives her precious stones. You could say he bought her love, and every day she marvels at how rich she has become. Every day he gives her precious stones. You could say he bought her love, and every day she marvels at how rich she has become. And every day she marvels at how rich she has become.
Thank you, thank you.
What I think we're going to do is we're going to let you guys get started putting your stuff away. We would like to get a picture of you and Keith after that. And also we have a poster for you to sign on the way out and one for you. So what we're going to do is, I think I'm going to go ahead and play one of your songs, but it's okay to have you guys packing up in the meantime. So everybody will get to see behind the scenes how we put guitars away. And we can move the camera around a little too, so it's not just on you. But a big thank you again. And
San Fermin.
There's a nice recording of that, I believe you gave me. Is that
Yep.
okay to air that one? Okay. You can go ahead and say anything you want about it, and then I'll just...
So this one actually has the best backstory, which is that it's about doing the Running of the Bulls when I was in my, probably 21. And so it's about my experience doing the Run of the Bulls. It's also just kind of about perceptions of Pamplona being overrun by tons of drunk tourists, partying tourists. So
Okay, that part's okay. But of course, we would have to say that the running of the bulls is not a good thing. It's cruel. But it's okay if we disagree. It's just that's where we're coming from. Anytime for animal rights, we have to speak up.
That makes sense.
So, but I'm fine to play it though. As long as I do my disclaimer. You know.
Yep.
Otherwise, people will say to me, "I thought you said you cared, and you didn't say anything." You know what? I will always say something.
As a 21-year-old, I don't think I was thinking about that. But,
There's no blame issue here.
Oh, yeah,
it's
no,
just, you know.
Do the Running of the Tomatoes now, I think. That's something else they have.
It's a good song too, so we're okay.
All right.
I'll pop in afterwards to say goodnight to everybody, but we'll let them start cleaning up. And good night, Tim.
It's too much stuff in my little
Good night. Good night, Tim. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's building up around my head. And all the colors getting dragged through the mud, till I can't see nothing but red. And the music is never ending. Every corner there is a stage. The words all seem familiar, but I don't understand what they say. And there's no room left for sleeping, and the night is getting cold. Those faces smiling everywhere, I meet them all alone. It feels like I'm running for my life, the rails getting dragged around. It's time to start living for myself. Leave the bull in this little town. couple hours I will be reborn. But baby, for seconds while the past is reformed. The sun breaks through the coldness, the race to begin again. Leave my baggage at the beginning, not too sure what lies at the end. As I watch through half-closed eyes, the night before is washed away. Big heads are smiling at me, it was time I was on my way. It feels like I'm running for my life, the rest getting dragged around. It's time to start living for myself, leave the bull in this little town. Me parece que corro por la vida, o la vida me arrastra. Es hora de que empieces a vivir solo, dejes las tonterías.
And that was, I'd say the name, San Fermin? San Fermini? I can't say it right. San Fermin by Matt Whipple. And a big thank you again, everybody. Have a wonderful week. We look forward to seeing you next week. And thanks so much for tuning in to Twilight Showcase.